sing, let us rejoice. Oh, come, let's sing, let us rejoice. Messiah's come, and he's brought joy. Oh, he's brought laughter into my soul. Oh, come, let's sing, let us rejoice. Oh, come, let's sing, let us rejoice. Messiah's come, and he's brought joy. Oh, he's brought laughter into my soul. That's the kind of thing you can do when you play by yourself. Just modulate whenever you feel like it. Pretend it was on purpose. Okay, Melech goes there. Melech Hosea Mashiach Umagen. Melech Hosea Mashiach Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham. King, Redeemer, Savior and Shield. King, Redeemer, Savior and Shield. Blessed art thou, blessed art thou, Shield of Abraham. Blessed art thou, Shield of Abraham. You are the mighty one forever, O Lord. You are the mighty one forever, O Lord. 'Cause you raise the dead, sleeping in their graves. You are mighty to save. You raise the dead, sleeping in their graves. You are mighty to save. Melech Hosea Mashiach Umagen. Melech Hosea Mashiach Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham. Woo! All right. Go to the left line now. I will enter his gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter his courts with praise. I will say, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. He has made me glad. He has made me glad. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. He has made me glad, he has made me glad. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, I will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. So I will enter his gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter his courts with praise. I will say, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. Awesome. That's how we do that one. Twofer. That's fun. As the mountains are around Jerusalem, the Lord is all around his people. As the mountains angels are around Jerusalem. The Lord is all around his people. From this time forth and forevermore, the Lord is all around his people. From this time forth and shall ever be, the Lord is all around his people. Like Mount Zion in the midst of Jerusalem, we shall not be moved, we shall not be moved. Like Mount Zion in the midst of Jerusalem, we shall not be moved, we shall not be moved. From this time forth and forevermore, the Lord is all around his people. From this time forth and it shall always be, the Lord is all around his people.
One more. That's all.
Everybody. We got the tried and the true and the faithful here tonight. So This is the family. We're down to the family. And I want to thank you for coming and being here and worshiping with us this evening. We have some announcements in the bulletin. Getting geared up for the high holiday season. We start off with the sounding of the shofar on September 29th. This is all on this pink sheet here, which is a good place to put your put on the refrigerator or wherever you put things to remind yourself about what you're doing. I often need to remind myself about what it is I'm doing. The alphabet oneg rotates through the holiday, and so find yourself there, please. And if you plan to attend the service, it would be great if you would bring a little something for the oneg table. And we are up first with the F through K. So that's that. The Havdalah and Gay Night has moved forward in the month of October to October 19th at 7 p.m. So that's there. Tomorrow morning, we will continue with our first and third Saturday service. That begins at 11. It's an informal and quiet service with a few of our members, a prayer service, reading through a passage, and you are welcome to come and join in that. Let's see. Other than that, they have pretty much the same announcements. There's financial information there for you to take note of. And pretty much routine on that front. Okay, so with that, I'm going to ask Richard. The three potential campers in the audience, I have to make sure I call the right one out. I've done that before where I call the wrong one out. Thankful to have Richard come with us this evening. And we will begin by welcoming Shabbat with the Kado D. And we will stand, and you can see our days are getting shorter, and we have missed sunset, even though it's with the earlier service. But nonetheless, we will stand and face the door and welcome Shabbat for this evening. Kado D is found on pages 14 through 25.
Shabbat nekabela, lechadodi likaratka, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lechadodi likaratka, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lechadodi likaratka. Zachor b'diburecha, Ishiyanu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shamo echad, L'shem ultifaret v'lihila, lechadodi likrat kala, Shabbat lechuven elcha, imekor habracha, mehosh mikedem nesucha, um'aseh b'machshavat hila, lechadodi likrat kala, Shabbat nekabela, lechadodi Shabbat Mekabela. Itna ari me'afar kubi, Kivshi b'beiti fatechami. Al yad ben Yishai be'et halachmi, Harba el nafshega Allah. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat mekabela. Torari, Kiva orech kumi ori, shir deberi, kevod Adonai halayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat mekabela. Ohi v'shalom hataret bala, Am b'simcha uv'sahala. Rohem u'ne'am segula, Bo'ichala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat mekabela. Come, my friends, meet the bride. Let's welcome the presence of the Sabbath. Observe and remember, in a single statement, the unique God caused us to hear his command. He alone is Lord, and his name is unique to his fame and splendor and praise. Come, my friend, meet the bride. Let's welcome the presence of the Sabbath. Let's go to meet the Sabbath, for she is the source of blessing from the beginning, anointed from ancient days, though made last, conceived first. Come, my friend, meet the bride. Let's welcome the presence of the Sabbath. Shake the dust off yourself, arise, dress in garments of glory, my people. Jesse's son, the Bethlehemite, draws near, bringing us redemption. Come, my friend, meet the bride. Let's welcome the presence of the Sabbath. Wake up, your light is come. Arise, shine, awake, awake, sing a grand song. The glory of God is revealed to you. Come, my friend, meet the bride. Let's welcome the presence of the Sabbath. Come in peace, crown of your Lord. Come with joy and with cheer. Come to the faithful among the chosen people. Come, bride, come. Come, my friend, meet the bride. Let's welcome the presence of the Sabbath.
You may be seated. Blessings for the candles are found on pages 4 and 5. And we join the Jewish people all over the world in welcoming the warmth of Shabbat into our hearts and minds with the lighting of the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has set us apart by your commandments and commanded us to light the candles for the Sabbath. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahayot ol v'natan lanu Yeshua Meshikenu ha'or la'olam. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctified us by your commandments and commanded us to be a light for the nations, and gave us Yeshua our Messiah, the light of the world. Shabbat Shalom.
Elohim Asher is found on pages 40 and 41. This passage is taken from the book of Hebrews in the Newer Covenant, and it reminds us of God's faithfulness to us throughout and speaking to us throughout all of history. We will join Richard as he leads us in this passage.
Elohim asher diber mikadem yamim rabot u'irachim rabot el ha'avot be'yad ha'nevi'im diber aleinu be'acharit hayamim ha'ele be'yad ha'bein asher Sam leyoresh kol uyado Gamasa et ha'olamim Uzohar kevodo B'tselem ha'tzmufto V'nosei kol b'dvaro Ra'ha'ora Ulachar she'asa tibur chataim yashar limin ha'gadulah. In the past, God spoke to our fathers through the prophets at many times in various ways. But now, in the end of days, he has spoken to us by the Messiah, his Son, whom he appointed the heir of all things, and through whom he made the universe. The Son is the full radiance of God's glory, and the flawless manifestation of his reality. He sustains all things by his powerful word. After he made atonement for sins, he sat down in the place of authority beside the majesty in heaven. True and firm, established and lasting, right and faithful, loved and treasured, desired and pleasant, feared and mighty, ordered and acceptable, good and beautiful is this word to us forever and ever.
Our Tehillat Habrit Hadashah passage is found on pages 138 and 139, taken again from the Newer Covenant, the book of Revelation. We will let Richard lead us through this, and we will join him in those parts with the quotations.
And they cried out in a loud voice, Salvation belongs to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain to receive power and wealth and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and praise. Then I heard every creature in heaven and on earth and under the earth and on the sea and all that is in them singing, To him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be praise and honor and glory and power forever and ever. Amen. Praise and glory and wisdom and thanks and honor and power and strength be to our God forever and ever. Amen.
Ashrei Yish is found on pages 42 through 45.
Are we skipping Kaddish?
We are not skipping Kaddish, neither will we skip the Amidah. And so we will back up and not get ahead of ourselves here. And Sephardi Kaddish is found on pages 156 and 157, and Richard will lead us in this.
יגדל ויתקדש שמר רבה והעלמא דברי חירותה וימליך מלכותה ויצמח פורקנה וקרב משכי וחיי כון וביום כון וחיי לכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם לעלמיה יתברך יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם לעלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקדושה ברכו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה ואמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו Amen. Glorified and sanctified be his great name in the world which is created according to his will. May he bring about the reign of his kingdom and cause his salvation to sprout and bring near his Messiah in your lifetime and in your days and in the life of all the house of Israel, speedily, yes, soon, and say,
Amen.
May his great name be blessed forever and forever, eternally. Blessed and praised, glorified and exalted, extolled and honored, adored and lauded be the name of the Holy One, blessed be he, who is high above, far above all blessings and hymns and praises and consolations which are spoken in the world, and say, Amen. May there be great peace from heaven, and good life for us and for all Israel, and say, Amen. He who makes peace in the heavenly realms, may he make peace for us and for all Israel, and say, Amen.
The Amidah this evening is the abridged paragraph and paragraph 5. Please stand. Pages 60 and 61 and then 70 and 74. We will turn toward Jerusalem and we will use these words to focus our own private thoughts and prayers as we read them silently. Blessed are you, O Lord, who hears our prayer. May our eyes behold your return to Zion with mercy. Blessed are you, O Lord, who returns your presence to Zion. You may be seated. Ashreish is still found on pages 42 and 45, and this time we will turn there. And beginning in the middle of the page, we will start and then read it responsively with Richard going through the passage. Happy is the man who heeds your commandments. Please join me. Your Torah,
And who places your word upon his heart. It is true that you are Lord of your people, and a mighty king to plead their case. It is true you are first and last, and besides you we have no king, redeemer, and savior.
For the beginning times and for the later times, your word is good, and endures forever and ever, true and faithful, a statute which shall not pass. It is true that you are He, the Lord our God, and God of our fathers, our King and King of our fathers, our Redeemer and Redeemer of our fathers, our Maker, the rock of our salvation, our Deliverer, and our Rescuer from everlasting. This is your name. There is no God besides you.
From Egypt you redeemed us, Lord our God, and from the house of slavery you delivered us. All their firstborn you slayed, and your firstborn you redeemed. And the sea of reeds you divided and drowned the proud. But the beloved ones you caused to pass through, while the waters covered their adversaries. One from another did not remain.
Therefore the beloved praised and extolled God, and the beloved ones gave hymns and songs and praises and blessings and thanks to the King, God who lives and endures.
You are high and wonderful, great and feared, who brings low the proud and raises the humble, who brings forth the prisoners and delivers the meek, and helps the poor, and answers his people in the time when they cry to him.
Praise our exalted God. Blessed is he who is to be blessed. Moses and the people of Israel sang a song to you with great joy. They all said, as do we, Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, glorious in holiness, awesome in praises, doing wonders? Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefei. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefei.
En Kamoka is found on pages 88 and 89. Please stand, and once again we will face Jerusalem as Richard leads us in En Kamoka.
En Kamocha Elohim Adonai, ve'en kama'asecha, malchut kamalchut kol olamim, u'memshalcha be'ol dor, be'ol dor v'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai melech le'olam va'ed, Adonai hoz le'amo yitain, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. There is none like you among the gods, my Lord, and there is nothing that compares to your deeds. Your kingdom is a kingdom that endures for all eternity, and your sovereignty extends throughout all generations. The Lord reigns, the Lord has reigned, The Lord shall reign throughout eternity. The Lord will bless his people with peace.
And we continue standing for the Shema, which is found on pages 34 through 39.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malachuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'kol levacha v'kol nafshecha v'kol me'odecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Elohim etzavcha hayom alecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shakbecha uv'komecha uv'shatam lehot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot b'einecha uv'tavtam al mezozot b'eitecha uv'yisharecha. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. Blessed be he whose glorious kingdom is eternal. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your life, and with all your strength. These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home, and when you walk along the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them as reminders on your hands, and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the door frames of your houses and on your gates.
Vayivin Soah is found on pages 88 and 89. We will join Richard there as we head into the Torah service. Vayivin Soah Aaron vayomer Moshe Uma Adonai vayafutzo v'hata v'yanusu mesanecha mipanecha Ki mitzion teitzei Torah Ki mitzion teitzei Torah U'devar Adonai b'Yerushalayim Baruch shenatan Torah Torah Baruch shenatan Torah Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. And it came to pass, whenever the ark went forward, Moses would say, Arise, O Lord, and let your enemies be scattered. May those who hate you flee from before you. For from Zion shall go forth the Torah, and the word of the Lord out of Jerusalem. Blessed be he who in holiness gave the Torah to his people Israel. Our response at the presentation of the Torah is found on page 133. The ark now reveals its treasure.
To our eyes and minds and hearts,
Inside, the scroll of Torah stands.
it stands there with all its richness and wisdom.
As we listen, voices speak, voices of our ancestors.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Joseph, and Moses.
O God, they bring us your instructions for us.
Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, and Miriam speak to us as well.
O God, they move us to respond to your promises to us.
We are grateful for your words, the words of Torah.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord calls.
We will hear your words, that we may learn them, love them, live them.
What does the Lord require of you? To fear him, love him, serve him, and walk in all his ways.
All the Lord has said, we will do.
The Torah blessings are found on pages 92 to 95.
Bi shebarach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. He who blessed our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. May he bless Jenny. May he bless Matt. May he bless Connie. May he bless Catherine. May he bless Alex, who have come up to honor God and the Torah. May the Holy One bless them and their families, and send blessing and prosperity on all the work of their hand. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Havorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Bless the Lord who is blessed.
Bless the Lord who is blessed forever and ever.
Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who chose us from all peoples and gave us the Torah. Blessed are you, Lord, giver of the Torah.
V'haya ki tavo el haaretz, asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha nachala, v'rishta v'yeshavta ba, v'lakachta mereshit kol pari hadama, asher Tavi me'artzecha, asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach v'samta v'tenei, v'halachta el hamakom asher yivachar Adonai Elohecha l'shachen shmo sham. Uvata el hakohen asher yeh bayamim hahem, ve'amarta elav higareti hayom l'Adonai Elohecha Kivati el haaretz asher nishba Adonai la'avotenu latet lanu v'lekach hakohen hatene miyadecha v'hinecho lifnei mizbach Adonai Elohecha. You may be seated. And it shall be that when you come into the land which the Lord your God is giving to you as an inheritance, and you possess it, and you dwell there within it, then you shall take the first fruits from all of the ground which comes from out of the earth or out of the land that Adonai your God is giving to you, and you shall put them in a basket, and you shall go to the place that the Lord your God chooses to make dwell his name there, to make his name dwell there. And you shall come to the Kohen, the priest that is there in those days, and you shall say to him, I declare this day to the Lord your God, for I have come to the land which Adonai swore to our ancestors to give to us. And the Kohen, the priest, shall take the basket from your hands, and he shall set it down in front of the altar of the Lord your God. The parsha this week places an emphasis on gratitude and the appropriate response to the covenantal relationship Israel enjoys with its Creator. This theme is rampant throughout the entire parsha, and therefore, not surprisingly, we see it immediately as the parsha is introduced, with Moses' instructions of bringing the first fruits, known as the Bikurim, to the temple, and making a declaration to the Kohanim of the covenantal responsibility and gratitude. First is the acknowledgement that we have entered the land and taken possession of the land that was promised to us by our God, followed by a brief recollection of the Passover story and the redemptive measures God took to secure the Israelites' place in history, afforded by nothing less than acts of grace and kindness and love. Not by anything they were due or tasks they completed or extremely moral and developed behavior, not at all. It's simply a covenant of grace and love. The first part of our text is the giving of the Bikurim. The first fruits of the land, our sages say, were specifically the 7 species native to the land of Israel: wheat, barley, grapes, figs, pomegranates, olives, and dates. They gave these first fruits and declared that they had entered the promised land. This acknowledged that what God had promised them and had promised Abraham so many years ago had come to fruition. He was a God of his word, a God that was intimately involved with his chosen people. And therefore, they make the rest of the affirmation, which I just summed up, that we also typically read in our modern day Pesach Haggadahs, or Haggadot. The Bikurim was typically placed in baskets and given to the priest to eat within the walls of Jerusalem. Both the first fruits and the baskets were given to the priests. The baskets were not returned to their owners, which you might ask why. What was so special about these common vessels made from palm leaves and straw that warranted them being kept along with the offering? There must be something to this, so what is it? Well, there's many different, with most topics, there's many different debates on this. But some Kabbalistic sources reconcile the 7 species of Israel to the 7 characteristics or attributes of the soul. Now, we have to be very careful when we talk about interpretation with Kabbalistic matters, but I think loosely interpreted, it does fit with our topic tonight. The 7 species were offered in the basket to the priest as one complete offering. meaning both the Bikurim offering, the fruit, and the basket itself was given together. They were not separated. So the characteristics of each one of us make us whole as well. So in essence, the fruit or Bikurim represents each of the characteristics that make us unique to who we are, while the basket represents our physical bodies. Therefore, offering it together represents us offering and serving with our entire bodies. Each of us has characteristics or attributes that make us unique. These are special gifts that we have been given, and they vary from person to person. These special gifts should be used as tools to serve one another and God in our lives. They can be what Paul describes in his letter to the Galatians: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control. It can also be other things like bravery, creativity, forgiveness, learning, teamwork, fairness, philanthropy, teaching, honesty, and even so much more. In our lives, these are what help us cultivate and grow the fruit that we personally offer as our own Bikurim. It is our intended goal, just as the fruit of the basket, that we have purpose and are useful in our walk on this earthly realm. The physical fruit of the Bikurim offering was used to feed the priests and provide them with sustenance. So should our gifts to the community, to provide sustenance and meaning to the community in which we live, so that God is glorified through our gifts to the community around us. This is what John, the non-Episcopalian, was talking about in Luke when he said that we must produce fruit in keeping with repentance. In other words, the type of fruit which proves your love and faithfulness to God and all his people in keeping with the good news of the kingdom of heaven. It's what the Hebrew term avodah means. It means to work, but it also means to worship and to serve. This term is used interchangeably, and it's pretty interesting when you think about the actual Hebrew word. So our characteristics and attributes are to our bodies as the Bikurim were to the baskets given to the priest during the ceremony. The basket given at the temple was the vessel that carried the first fruit offerings, just as our body are the vessel that carries our characteristics and attributes, which determine the type of fruit we bear at the end of our season. The baskets were inseparable from the offering. They were actually part of the offering. Similarly, our bodies are inseparable from our gifts, that when cultivated, help us bear the fruit in which we offer. But knowing all this is useless if we don't intentionally use our gifts for a purposeful and beneficial outcome. Using the gift of our personal strengths for good works must be intentional. During the harvest season, the farmers would consciously go into the field and notice which plants blossom first, producing that first fruit of the crop. They would then deliberately mark that fruit with a string to designate it as the offering of the first fruit for that season. So you see the task was completed intentionally and made with a conscious mind. Taking note of which fruit buds first is of the utmost importance for the Bikurim ceremony. Likewise, we must be intentional with our gifts. We must recognize our strengths and consciously make the decision to use those attributes in our lives to serve. We have to pay attention to where our abilities can be useful and honor God in our community with our fair share of deliberate participation in tikkun olam, or reparation of the world. No one human being can solve all the problems within a community, not to mention the world. But together, with each of us utilizing our own special gifts, our strengths, we can do amazing work in this world, transforming even. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the second most topic of this week's parsha, which is, of course, thankfulness. To show appreciation for those things in which we are given. The ceremony of the Bikurim at the temple taught the importance of verbally acknowledging God as our principal benefactor. This is one of the reasons they verbally announced the passage that I summarized just a few minutes ago. It was part of the Bikurim ceremony, the first fruit ceremony, and so influential through the generations that it has become an integral part of many Passover Haggadahs. The oral prayer demonstrates the undeniable gratitude and sincere appreciation of God's sovereignty. And all this is to help us guard ourselves from forgetting our responsibility, which is why toward the latter portion of the parsha, we see not only the benefits or rewards of keeping the mitzvot, but also the consequences resulting from disobeying the teachings and instructions. It is so important that the Israelites are instructed specifically to go to two separate mountains. Remember which mountains these are? Mount Gerizim and Mount Ebal. Once they enter the promised land, they're to split off and recite the blessings that would result from keeping the mitzvot and the curses that would result from ignoring the covenantal guidelines and following after their own eyes. They are a full participant, the Israelites. They are a full participant, and therefore they're their own witnesses to this knowledge of behavioral expectation. So many people get caught up in the wrong details of this ceremony. It's not about spirituality of the mountains, or if there's some kind of evil work at force on Mount Ebal, or some lofty philosophical idea or location. It's all about geography. And if you haven't taken, you should, Rabbi Patrice's geography class, especially if you want to learn the geography of ancient Israel. And really, you need this to be able to understand a lot of the passages. So what I want to do now, I'm going to take this off because I'm going to move around. Sorry. Hope you guys can hear me. I'll talk a little bit louder. Anyway, can I use you two as so Mount Gerizim, Mount Ebal, right? Mount Gerizim. Your mic is off. I know, I don't have a mic. I need to walk around, so. This is Mount Ebal. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mount Ebal, Mount Gerizim. Why this area of Israel? Why did God choose this area of Israel to go to do these blessings and curses? Well, it's location, it's geography. Where in all of Israel could God send the people where they could all be together, this large mass of people, right? Large masses of people. But when they were there, they all had to be able to see each other. They all had to be able to hear each other. They all had to be able to respond to each other and interact with each other. So that he can't send them way up north to where the mountains are really, really large. He can't send them way down far in the south where it's just flat desert land. Well, not necessarily flat, but it just wouldn't work. So he sends them to Mount Gerizim and Mount Ebal, splits them off, half here, half there, 6, 6. And then down, Gerizim, Ebal, right here. Should be a little bit smaller. This is Shechem. Thank you. Shechem, right here. It actually means shoulders. This is Shechem. This is where the Levites went, right here. And so the Levites would, again, all the tribes had to be able to hear them. So the Levites would shout the actions that would make the blessings and the actions that would create the curses. And so each one of them would reply. They all had to reply. So they all had to hear each other. They all had to be able to interact with each other. And you had to be in a place, geographically speaking, that would work. So this is why this area of the world. The other thing people think is, oh, well, Mount Gerizim, again, you have to know topography here. Mount Gerizim, it's green, it's lush, it's got some color. And these mountains, first of all, they're not like the Andes, they're not like the Rockies, they're not even like the Appalachian Mountains. They're more, for Floridians, it's more like large hills, right? Large hills. So, and they're not jaggedy, they're just kind of large hills. So Mount Gerizim is lush. It's green, it's got some color to it. It's very pleasing to the eye. Mount Ebal, it's still a grand hill. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's brown. It's a little barren. It's brown. It's a little barren. It's rocky, jagged. It's got some gravel, pebbles, rocks, okay? It's not as pleasing to the eye as Mount Gerizim would be. So, why these two mountains? It's all about imagery. All about imagery. Blessings on Mount Gerizim, and curses from Mount Ebal, but nothing more than imagery. And if you know your topography and your geography, then you understand this portion of our text. Thank you, guys. Okay. Sorry, thank you guys for humoring me. Okay. So the mountains played an integral part in Israel's early days as a reminder of the possibility of both blessings and curses. I just demonstrated that. It was their choice, and so it's ours now. So let's remember to be mindfully thankful of the gifts we have been given that help us serve God by ministering to each other in this world. Also the gift of Torah, and I mean all of Torah, the prophets, the scriptures, the renewed covenant, the writings, everything. This should be central to our lives, and let's also remember the appropriate responses we should be giving God according to our gifts and abilities. Whatever your gift, and we all have our special gifts, know that we are an integral part in God's plan on this earth. What better time is there to reflect on these responsibilities and choices as the end of Elul is approaching and a new year begins? Let's look close and, if need be, make some changes and renew our commitment to our responsiveness to God for this unconditional covenant of love and grace that has been offered to all of us. Shabbat Shalom, my family.
Shabbat.
Chapter 26, verses 8 to 13. And Adonai brought us out of Egypt with a strong hand and a stretched out arm, with great terror and with signs and wonders. Now he has brought us to this place and given us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Therefore, as you see, I have now brought the first fruits of the land which you, Adonai, have given me. You are then to put the basket down before Adonai your God. Prostrate yourself before Adonai your God, and take joy in all the good that Adonai your God has given you, your household, the Levites, and the foreigner living with you. After you have separated a tenth of the crops yielded in the third year, the year of separating a tenth, and have given it to the Levite, the foreigner, the orphan, and the widow, so that they can have enough food to satisfy them while staying with you, you are to say, in the presence of Adonai your God, I have rid my house of the things set aside for God and given them to the Levite, the foreigner, the orphan, and the widow, in keeping with every one of the mitzvot you gave me. I haven't disobeyed any of your mitzvot or forgotten them.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who gave us the Torah of truth and life everlasting planted in our midst. Blessed are you, Lord, giver of the Torah.
The Zot HaTorah is found on pages 98 and 99. Please stand.
V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai be'yad Moshe. This is the Torah which Moses placed before the children of Israel. It is in accord with the Lord's command by the hand of Moses.
You may be seated. The Haftorah blessings are found on pages 94 through 97.
אשר בחר מנביאים טובים, ברצה בדבריהם הנאמרים באמת. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בתורה ובמשה עברו, ובישראל עמו, ובנביאי האמת בצדק. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who selected good prophets, delighting in their words which were spoken truthfully. Blessed are you, O Lord, who chose the Torah, your servant Moses, your people Israel, and the prophets of truth and righteousness.
We read from Isaiah 61-6. Arise, shine, Jerusalem, for your light has come. The glory of Adonai has risen over you. For although darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness the people, on you Adonai will rise. Over you will be seen his glory. Nations will go towards your light, and kings towards your shining splendor. Rise your eyes and look around. They are all assembling and coming to you. Your sons are coming from far off, your daughters being carried on their nurses' hips. Then you will see and be radiant. Your heart will throb and swell with delight. For the riches of the seas will be brought to you. The wealth of nations will come to you. Caravans of camels will cover your land, young camels from Midian and Ephah, all of them coming from Sheba, bringing gold and frankincense, and proclaiming the praises of Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Sur kol haolamim, Tzadik v'kol hadorot, Ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, Hamdaber u'mkayem shekol dabarav, Emet v'tzedek. נאמן אתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ונאמנים לברך, ודבר אחד מדברך. אחורו ישוב ריקם כי אל מלך, נאמן ורחמן אתה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הנאמן בכל דבר. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, rock of all ages, righteous throughout all generations. You are the faithful God, promising and then performing, first speaking, then fulfilling. For all your words are true and righteous. Faithful are you, O Lord our God, and faithful are your words, for no word of yours shall remain unfulfilled. You are a faithful and merciful God and King. Blessed are you, O Lord God, who are faithful in fulfilling your words. Have mercy on Zion. It is the fountain of our life, and very soon deliver her who grieves deeply. Blessed are you, O Lord, who makes Zion rejoice with her children. Make us joyful, O Lord our God, with the prophet Elijah, your servant, and with the kingdom of the house of David, your anointed. May Elijah come soon and bring joy to our hearts. Allow no stranger to sit on David's throne or inherit his glory. For by your holy name you swore to him that his light would not be quenched forever. Blessed are you, O Lord, the shield of David. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen David.
Etzchaim is found on pages 96 and through 97.
Es haimi la makazimba betom keha meushar deracheha darchei noam vekom tiboteha shalom. Ashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Yameinu Kedem. Ashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Yameinu Kedem.
A tree of life it is to those who take hold of it, and happy are those who support it. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Turn us, Lord, to you, and let us return. Renew our days as of old.
Uvnu Kol Yomar is found on pages 98 and 99. Please stand as we return the honor. Lord to the Lord.
Uvenucho Yomar, Shuva, Adonai, Rivavot Alfei Yisrael. When the ark rested, Moses would say, Return, O Lord, to the myriads of Israel's families. Arise, O Lord, to your resting place, you and your mighty ark. Clothe your priests with righteousness. May those who have experienced your faithful love shout for joy. For the sake of your son David, don't delay the return of your Messiah. Avur David of Dekran, Al Tashev B'nai Mishkan. Ilakach Tov, Navati Lachem, Torati Al Tanazot. I give you instruction. Do not forsake my Torah.
And as we greet each other here on the Bima, please take a minute to say hello to the people surrounding you.
Your own country. Shabbat shalom. Let's do this.
Okay, so our order of service is a little unusual this evening, but we're going to go right now and don't go away, Richard.
We're not done yet.
We're going to come back. Oh, we're still greeting? Okay.
Hug him back there.
Well, let me give you what's coming next. Elena is coming next. And we will remain standing and we will once again face Jerusalem. And Richard will lead us in.
Is your microphone dead?
I don't know.
Your battery working? Is she on?
I boosted as much as I can. Oh,
Dead?
must be good.
We're almost done.
Okay.
Aleinu l'shebeach Adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שמחתנו כהם, וגורלנו כעמונה. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו, ושכינת עוזו, וגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. אמת מלכנו, אפסולתו, הכתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, והשוותה, אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד.
It is incumbent upon us to praise the Master of all, to exalt the Creator of the world, for He has made us distinct from the nations and unique among the families of the earth. Our destiny is not like theirs. Our calling is our task. We bow down and acknowledge before the King of Kings that there is none like Him. For He stretched forth the heavens like a tent, and the stars the earth. Truly there is none like our Lord and King. As the Torah says, you shall know this day and reflect in your heart that it is the Lord who is God in the heavens above and on the earth beneath. There is none else. We hope, O Lord our God, to soon behold your majestic glory, when all abominations shall be removed, and all false gods shall be at an end. Then shall the world be perfected under the rule of the Lord Almighty, and all mankind shall call upon your name. For to you every knee must bow, and every tongue declare that you are God. Reign over us soon and forever. May the kingdom of David's greatest Son be established forever. For then shall the words be fulfilled. The Lord shall be king forever, and the Lord shall be king over all the earth. On that day the Lord shall be one, and his name one. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al ha'aretz bayom ha'hu yehyeh Adonai echad u'shmo
You may be seated. Everyone except Gary.
Oh,
We're there already.
we're there.
We're there already.
That's right, that's right. Messed up, the no sermon thing. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Good to see you all here. We're all family. So, what can we be praying for each other about? What can we share with the G-rated crowd? Keep it brief. We just want to know what specifically to be praying about, so when something happens, and I can't wait. I can't wait. My brother went home yesterday from the hospital, so I know I'm not supposed to give praise reports until the end, but the rabbi's not here, so whatever. Okay, so he's home, and 6 weeks in the hospital. That was a long one. Yeah. So he's back and on the mend. Still very slow. So keep praying for Eric, my brother. 3.5 years younger than me. Better looking. Fact. So anyway, what can we be praying for you about?
Gary, Janice is very sick.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
our main source.
Yes.
Okay,
That's stuff that I had, so.
yeah.
I don't think I gave it to her, but she got it.
It's going around. A lot of people have it. Okay. Janice is sick, everybody. Pray for her. Pray for you. Yeah, okay. Pray for you. Yeah. Just touch elbows or something. Everyone's good? Awesome. Woohoo! We'll pray for you anyway, because you pretty much assume that everybody's got something. How about praise reports? Hey, my brother went home. Did you hear? Anybody else got a, yes?
God answers even small prayers. Our snake got out.
Yeah.
Our snake at home, and there's tons of hiding places.
Sure.
When I walked in the door, I asked God to reveal the hidden and to give me the eyes to see.
Yeah.
I walked in the room, and within a minute, I found it.
It's amazing, isn't it? He said to try him, test him like that. Cool.
Well,
Really cool.
on that note, I'm grateful that the apartment below didn't flood from his
Oh, yeah.
shenanigans.
Yeah, yeah.
Snake shenanigans.
Sure. That's good news. Good news. How about anyone else? Nothing. Okay, let's go to God. Father God, we know that you know us, and we can't hide anything from you. Good stuff, bad stuff. It's all known by you, and so we bring all of that to you now. We bring all of it. Even the stuff that we're not really quite aware of. There's some things that we're still semi-conscious about, and we thank you and ask for your help with those things as well. Please help our synagogue. Please help us to find what we can do to be a blessing to each other and to our simple little congregation. We know it is your desire that we would make a place so that people can feel welcome to worship and can learn about you and get closer to you as your kingdom draws near. We thank you for all these and many blessings you give us. In Yeshua's name, amen.
Please stand as Richard comes, gives us our final blessing for the evening.
Our God and God of our fathers, bless us with the threefold blessing. Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu, Barakenu, Barakah, HaMashiach Shem. Yivarech Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yer Adonai b'nevelecha v'yichunecha. Yitzhak Adonai b'nevelecha v'yasem lecha. May the Lord bless you and watch over you. May the Lord cause the light of his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face toward you with favor, and may he grant you